If anyone's got a stream where if anyone's sent friends a stream or whatever, resend the streams.
Yeah.
And it'll be the same. You just sent the account, did you? Yeah. Okay, well, we're live now, so I'm on camera talking live.
Okay.
So I don't know how many people are there. There you are now. You're back on screen, Mice.
Oh yeah.
There you go. There you go. Just turn my headphones up a bit. Okay. Let's just all. We're all just gonna. We've got. Oh yeah, Blade's on. You're on screen as well. Nice. That's good. Yeah. Can't do the show without Blade on screen, can we? Look! It looked like we had it set up that it looked like you was coming from a foreign country, talking to us like they used to on the news, where they just had the photograph in the top corner. So that's what we had.
Oh, okay.
That's what we had while you was talking on the first half. We just had your photo in the top corner.
Yeah.
Correspondent.
It's like you, definitely at work as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's at work, bro.
A specialist in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna wait for the chat to start filling up again.
Come join us, mother lovers. Right, let me get on the other stream as well. Still, so you're on there. You can see us live and direct. All right, there we go. Legend in the building. Jeez. We were talking about the CD business, of course. Right, let me find.
Bro, your voice is really quiet in the background all of a sudden.
My voice, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's sort that out. Un segundo, por favor. Right.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, or can you?
Yeah, I can hear you properly, Dan.
Right. Okay.
All right, and I'm still quiet, yeah.
Any
1
better?
2 1 2 testing. Hey, 1 2. Nah, still quiet. Yo, 1 2. Hey, check. It's all good because I
can hear you a bit better now. It just means that when you're talking, I have to make sure I don't clash with you in case I can't hear what you say.
What is there? It seems like there's a delay as well or something.
I can't tell because I can't see you on the screen to see if you're talking and the words are behind you and stuff.
Oh, why is that not working? Hold on.
Yeah, is he supposed to? I think.
Yeah, you should be able to. That's it. You could see us now. You should be able to see Mice now.
Yeah, I can see him, and I can see some octopus or something behind him as well.
Yeah. That's a friend of his.
Maestro, there's an octopus behind you.
Yeah, I love to be in the deep blue sea. I can't swim too well, so you know.
Oh, hang on. What's happened with the Skype now? Bloody hell. Where's he gone? That's a nice picture of him though. It's paused on Blade, but it's quite a nice picture of him. I have to just ring him back.
Oh, we lost him, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Are you back?
Yeah.
We got you back. That's it.
Can you hear me? 1 2.
1 2 1 2. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, is it clearer than before, or is it still the same?
It's still quiet.
I've got you cranked up here.
Yeah, I can hear it as well. 1 2 testing. Yeah, because we've got to make sure it's not too loud on the whatchamacalled. You know what I mean? Right, Chris Hat, how's it going, mother lover? Easy, Mr. Green in the place. Yeah, easy. Blade on with Maestro. This is going to be gold. You're damn right, mother lovers. There was a little stream before, but we had to make sure that we get Blade on the actual screen, not just a picture of him. Even though this is still, some level of art, this is still not him being here in the flesh. This is way better than just looking at a picture of him on the phone, looking like, yeah, bro, I've got, trust me.
Bro, if you wanted me there, you should have just said, I would have come.
Yeah, no, we got to trust me. That's going to happen, bruv. You know what I mean?
That's coming.
Yeah,
we've got a booth here. We've got a little booth. Yeah.
I didn't want to overstep the mark. You know what I mean?
No. Bro, I'll tell you something. This is kind of important. it's weird how artists that are just doing demos, that have never had any success, that have never put anything out and whatever, and you say to them, do you want to come on and do something? And they give you a hard time, and they're just difficult. And then you turn around and ask people who've been all over TV, radio, they're stars and all that, and you ask them, and they're like, oh, when a legend calls, you just got to go.
Yeah. I mean,
Listen to the logic behind that, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the same thing to you. The way I see it is, when a legend like Maestro, My Stiggy calls up, you got to go.
Nah, man, come on, bro. I can't have you telling me that. Like, you gonna wait? I think I got something in my eyes still.
No, bro. Seriously, look, I've had mega stars.
Come
like
on,
I'm
bro,
talking
you can't.
superstars. Tell
This
me
guy.
that. So, you know what I mean? The thing is, you don't understand like how there are people out there that are massive superstars, and they're fans of yours, fans of mine, and
Is
you know
it?
what I mean?
Fucking hell,
It's mad. You
that's
just
mad,
don't
isn't it?
realize
Yeah,
it.
they don't
Just
want to tell you
because
that
just
shit,
because you
bro.
haven't achieved their level of success, it doesn't mean they don't rate you the same way you know the world rates them.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, you never know, man. That's the thing. I never know, and sometimes I feel like it's cool if I don't know that. You do get into this business and you start making music. At first, people are like, yeah, you're good, man. You're coming up. Yeah, brother, like what you do. And then once you kind of get to a stage, it feels like that all, you know, it's almost like they're like, yeah, he knows he's good. It's like, yeah, let him. You know, conversation is even not as warm as it used to be. It's a bit cold, and you know, a lot less syllables in the sentence and whatnot. And you know, that's the thing about the UK hip hop scene is that there is. I think from the outside looking in, it does seem like it's cliquey and people are mad tight and whatnot. Or even back in the day, in terms of that, but it never really was. In terms of people, it wasn't like we all had each other's numbers and. You know, I'd have people call me up, yo, have you got so-and-so's number? I'm like, oh, nah, I don't, you know. We might have done a couple tunes, but we don't, you know, we're not that close kind of thing. And so in that sense, it is kind of sad in that way. I feel like that's one thing that really should change a lot more. You know, it's not like we have to force it or anything, but there's a lot of us who do get along really well when we link up and, you know, we should make it more than just whenever we see each other at certain events. So things like this and things like what you're doing. I wanted to, you know, get back into, though, the CD thing. When you decided, what made you decide to start doing that? And then who have you been working with in terms
bro,
of...
can you give me 1 second? Sorry.
Ah, of course, man. All the seconds you want. That was 1 second, by the way. Yo, who else is in the building? Who's caught back up with us? Alexander Morrison. Yes, we back. Shout out to your ma. Yo, you good, bruv?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry, bro. Just had to open the door for someone.
Nah, all good, man.
Yeah, so, you know, there's a little bit of a lag on the camera.
Yeah, probably, you know, this technology. You know what I was thinking about today? How, like, yo, all this Wi-Fi and just a bit of rain, this whole shit just fucks up. Like, rain, how's rain messing up the Wi-Fi? When you don't know how to synthesize, like, the venom from a Scorpio and shit, or you can make a monkey do telekinesis.
That's
what the hell's going on?
It's progress. That's what it is.
Madness, bruv. You know what I mean? This Wi-Fi better fix the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway,
so,
sorry. What was your question?
So it was to do with the CD business. You know, this is something people might not never know nothing about, which is the fact that you, after sort of paving the way for a bunch of rappers, you then paved the way for a bunch of musicians, a bunch of artists, particularly from the UK, by starting up your own CD business, CD burning. Both like, you know, promo to finished, full, I don't know the terminology, but I remember when you sent me the list and whatnot. Replications, you know what I mean? Replications, yeah, all that shit, all the Asians in there when it comes to pressing up CDs. And when you were reeling off the names that you were actually doing this stuff for, I was like, wow. Like, okay, no wonder it's popping off like that. So yeah, please start about how you got into it, and then from then on, you know, you worked with and whatnot.
Okay, well, how I started the CD business was purely by accident. Basically, what happened is when I did my last album, I pressed up 800 copies of 6 different projects, and I went to a company called Heathmans. And when I went to them, they messed up the jobs, and the audio was printed onto like where you had the print. Say you had like 2 track titles, they'd burn the album onto the 2-track titles, and then so basically they cocked up every job. Right? However, that cost me £4,800 and plus VAT. However, they didn't want to redo the job unless I paid again. And I'm like, well, how am I paying again when you screwed up? I've sent you everything, and really you should have matched titles with titles, all the artwork's there. You've done the masters for me. You've actually produced, I came to you to get the mastering done. So you got all the masters labeled and everything. Anyway, long story short, I didn't have the money to redo it again. They weren't going to redo it again. So I went to Maplin with the last bit of money I had. I bought 5,000 CDs, and I sat at home with a computer, and I burnt every CD one at a time on my computer. And I was there doing that all day, all night. Yeah, so I just kept burning them one at a time. And so we're talking 4,800 CDs. And then after that, I had to print all these little labels and then stick labels on them because I didn't have a CD printer. So I put Blade, Storms of Brewing, Blade, Scream, Blade, whatever. And, I basically ended up like pretty much feeling like I've got arthritis or whatever going on. And it pissed me off. So in the anger of all of this, I called a company and I said to them, you know what? I'm going to take you out of business.
Wow.
That's what I said. I'm going to take you out of business. Like, I'm pissed off now.
You trumped them.
Right?
That's what Trump did to Obama, isn't it?
Well, what happened is my career in music, I just felt like everything was against me. Radio wasn't supporting because I was no longer signed to a label. I was doing things independently. Distributor went bankrupt and left me with all like 15,000 copies of the album or whatever we pressed up, 12,000, 15,000. I couldn't even get access to the stock. Everything was just wrong. So, in all the frustration, I thought, screw this. You know what? I'm just going to start a CD business. But I didn't actually think start a CD business. What I actually wanted to do was buy the machine and then print the CDs myself, which was going to cost me about 20p a piece. And then I was going to hit all the festivals and I was going to sell 20, 30,000 CDs at 50p each.
Wow.
Right? And that's how it all started. But when I started and I sent out some of these promos to radio DJs, the radio DJs are calling me saying, who does your CDs for you? They look really good. But no one's commenting on the music. So I just thought, what the fuck am I wasting my time being an artist for when all people care about is how the CDs look?
Jeez.
So I went and bought, when I bought the first machine and I did this, and I realized that all the phone calls are coming in are about how the CDs look.
Yeah.
And how quick the production process is and all that kind of stuff when they found out after questioning me.
That's deep.
I set up a phone line I set up an email address and said, we don't deal by phone because I was worried that if they hear my voice and they know who I am, they ain't going to come to me.
Yeah.
So bit by bit, I started getting a few orders. My first ever customer was actually Boombox. Boombox was my first ever customer.
Yeah.
And via Boombox, I had a kind of a sly little dealing with Brain Tax, which didn't work out right. And but basically, turns out I was doing. You know what? It's their story. I'll leave them to explain it if they ever want to explain it. I just printed the CDs.
The names have changed. The game remains the same. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But what happened is I set up the email address, I started getting orders, and then someone called a number that I previously sent out. And when they called me and they talked to me on the phone, they were like, is that Blade? And I was like, no, it's not. I'm trying to change my voice and all kinds of shit.
Oh, shit.
The guy goes, bro, I'm a fan. I'm going to tell everyone you're doing the CD.
Yeah.
Next minute, I was like, why am I hiding? People are coming to me because I am Blade.
Yeah.
And then I just basically carried on as Blade, and within 3-4 months I made my money back for the equipment, and I bought loads more equipment, and then I decided, you know what, it's like I'm making money more than I made as an artist, and it's happening a lot quicker and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, the idea was keep the prices low, get the customers, and then up the prices to compete with the rest of the industry. But then I thought, you know what, why am I doing that? I'm living, I'm comfortable, I ain't struggling. So I'll keep the prices low in order to help artists be able to carry on. And that's why I kept the prices low.
Wow. You met that crossroad. What you're explaining is that crossroad where you could have gone to that dark side. You could have gone the way of the tax man, you know, the way of certain people where they talk about the entities and all the messed up things that go on in the world that do people wrong, but then they end up doing the same stuff themselves, which is messed up. And you got to that road and you decided, nah, actually, I'm not going to try and be that. That's what I was going against. And if you really look, you know what I mean? I don't need to mention names, but if you really look, there's a lot of people that end up doing that, and that's where they become successful. And it's sad because that means that a lot of other people feel like that's what they probably need to do, and it doesn't matter as much, but it's real soulless thing to do.
And then this guy, Paddy, who was running a manufacturing company, gave me credit notes when I walked in there with ripped up trainers and jeans. He knew I was broke. He knew I didn't have no money, but he still gave me credit notes to get 5,000 vinyl pressed.
Jeez.
And I thought, wow, you know what? He gave me a chance, and I learned from that guy.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I learned from that guy, and I thought, you know what? I'm always going to remember that the good guys do make a difference.
Mm.
You know, the bad guys generally end up getting richer because they're selfish. The more they get, the more they want, and it never stops. They don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
You know, but I have to always remind myself, you know, I wasn't driven by money. I'm not driven by money. And I would rather know that I'm giving someone an opportunity to get themselves back on track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
And that's something we're going to get into in a little bit as well, because, you know, you're definitely on your word when you're talking about that. So that's how it ended up, where you became pretty much, you know what I mean, the go-to guy. And who were you pressing CDs for? Like, it's a ridiculous roster, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the roster's endless, bro. But before I go there, what I was saying about the company that messed up my CD jobs, I told them I give them 3 years before I take them out of business. It took me 2 years, and I took them out of business. They went bankrupt within 2 years. And I stole all their customers. So Heathens, if you're watching this, boy, I stole all your customers. And I even called you on the day and told you I stole your customers. There you go.
We lost.
Anyway,
that's
sorry,
crazy,
that's the competitive hip hop side of me coming out now.
Nah, bruv, that's what it's all about, man. We need that fire, especially in this, you know, in our scene. Like I was talking about earlier, I feel like people do hold back a bit when it comes to. It feels like they're a bit worried about what people think of them. You know, they don't want people to talk about them in a negative way or whatever, but they're forgetting, you know, like we're talking about with the YouTube algorithms, you get dislikes, that means you'll get more people watching it, you know, regardless. Yeah. And that's what, you know, the energy that you bring, whenever we're having conversations, I always get that energy from you. Like, you don't give a fuck. I don't care, bruv. Like, this is what I want to do. And you've been doing that all the way through, even to the point of, you know what I mean? Like you said, you're telling them, look, give me 3 years. You lot are done for what you done to me. Hey, you need the bad guy, you know? So you can point your finger. Like, bruv, hustler, and the hustle level, bruv, you're taking it to extremes, man. You know, people definitely got to learn about that. If you want, and whenever you want, you can come back and make tunes and put them out.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, I've basically put myself in a position where I have choices, and that's all I really wanted. You know what I mean? It's like people keep going, oh, money gives you choices. But you know what? Sometimes just knowing the right people gives you choices, and money doesn't really buy you anything. It just brings you problems. Amen. So, you know, it is what it is. But what you were saying about doing what I want and all that, my missus always said, the day I die, on my gravestone, I did it my way. You know what I mean?
That's the way, isn't it? For real. Yeah. Like, no one can deny that. You know what I mean? Like, the bottom line is, you know, when you step out on a limb to do what you love and make it become a business, you know, regardless, people can't deny that. There's going to be people that look at it in some certain way, and then people that look at it in others. But regardless, what's true to you and what matters to yourself, that's all that really, you know, your family, your immediate family and whatnot, that's all that you should really focus on, as opposed to what other people think. And because we're all different anyway, and it's like, you carry on doing it the way you want to do it. If it works out, it does. If it doesn't...
If it doesn't, it doesn't. But what I always say to people as well is that what worked for me doesn't necessarily mean it'll work for you. You got to find your own way. I mean, and you know, I've tried things other people have done and it flops. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's no right and wrong way for people. You just got to do something, and you just never know when you're suddenly going to find the whole world wants to know about you.
Yeah. So it's been a
Just
proper
don't go.
roller coaster ride.
Yeah. And you know that better than most.
Yeah. Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
bro. Definitely, man. What has been
Yeah.
your what sort of highlights? You know, when you look back on things, like what are the moments that you really, you know, you get that feeling? You know, when you think about a time when you were performing somewhere or whatever crowd or at
Yeah,
some event or whatever.
I mean, the one, you know what? The one time that I remember the most and is stuck and it's engraved in my memory is when we did the show at the Mean Fiddler. I mean, there's hundreds of shows like I mentioned. Like the one we did at Scala was amazing. So we tore the place down. You know what I mean? I'm saying like I was worried the balconies were gonna collapse and shit.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? But the one at the Mean
Crazy.
Fiddler, the reason I remember it is because I knew the next morning my life was gonna change. I felt it when I was on the stage. Like I actually froze on the stage and I cried a couple tears. You know what I mean? And then I froze and I apologized for freezing. And I turned around to a few close friends that were there and I said, my life's changing, you know. I knew it. And the next day it changed.
Yeah.
The next day the change began.
That's when it was like,
So,
okay, I'm doing this now.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that you're doing this for 20 years. You've been on every stage, you've done everything, and not once have you thought my life's going to change. But on the one night before, I said it, and the next day, everything changed. Everything.
Make some noise for that, boy. Jeez, man, that's levels, bruv. Levels.
Yeah.
And it's come to this as well.
So in terms of the CDs, I mean, bro, the list, like I said, the list is endless, bro. I mean, I've done CDs for UK legends now. Like, you know, I mean, some of these people don't even know I've done CDs for them because I was doing it for their distributors. But people like Reg 32, Kano, Wiley, Dizzy. And then I've actually had 50 Cent's office call me up to get CDs done and sent to Germany the next day. And then them calling me back and thanking me for getting it the next day. Skepta, needed 10,000 CDs going to New York in 2 days. I had to turn it around in 2 days. So I was dealing with his management and, things like that. So many, but then also we talk about like them guys, but we're like all the UK artists, your For Life Cyphers, your Life MCs, your AC, your Harry Shotters and yourself, my Stiggy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like there's so many, bro. It doesn't, and pop artists. I was doing CDs for Amy Winehouse's dad, and
That's
I mean, he's not a pop
man.
artist, but you know what I'm saying.
No, just random, Boy, that's some work, man. That is some graft, brother. And then so you all right? So you got all that done. You're like, okay, I'm moving on from this now, and you started a new project. And this one, which is interesting, is even more so about. The scene that you said was like, the UK hip hop world in terms of like artists like ourselves that are out there doing the independent thing. In your mind, you felt like, and like I think quite a few of us have felt like this as well, but couldn't put our finger on it. But there needs to be some platforms that kind of represent what we do, as opposed to what's already out there that you might get sprinkles of us here and there. I can see you're more sort of focused on the scene as well as you'll sprinkle some of that, the other side of, the rap world, I guess you call it. Please break down the numbers, what this is about and who you've had on so far as well.
Okay, I mean, right. So basically, when I started the CD business, going back to the CD business, originally it was because I needed to pay my bills and not lose my house. And I was on the verge of losing my house. Then what happened is as soon as I realized the CD business is doing better than I thought, I just made my focus to basically make it easier for artists to be able to carry on. That's the only way I could help them, to the point where I was giving credit notes and, basically taking risks and people not paying what they owed and all that kind of stuff. And it's life. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like they have to live with that, not me.
Say it on return type.
You know what I mean? But then what happened is, when I started realizing that there's less and less CDs happening because more and more people are putting their stuff onto platforms and they're streaming them and they don't really care about having CDs, I thought, my ability to help everybody has suddenly come to an end. And I just feel like I'm not helping enough people. So then I started figuring out, and I said this to my missus long time, one of these days I'm going to have to stop doing this and do something else where I can carry on helping people. And she said, for God's sake, whatever you do, make sure that it's not going to involve you giving all your money away again. So I thought, what can I do? And then the first thing I thought was, you know what? I keep hearing artists always talking about how, they don't get the support, and how the youngers have come in and they're trying to change history, and their stories are not documented and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, all right, I've got an idea. So I'm going to start this channel, and I'm going to document the elders' stories so that their story is told and they can take something to their grave with them. You know what I mean? While I'm bringing in, the new generation of artists. But there's all those people in between, people like yourself and the up-and-coming guys that I've never really had a look in, but they've been rapping for 10 years. And everyone's basically relying on social media. And I'm thinking, do you not, without being rude, are you not seeing what's going on? Like, you're putting your stuff on social media, and 4 hours later it's disappeared, it's gone somewhere, and no one's seen it after that. So I just thought something needs to change. And my personal belief is, if you can make enough noise with a YouTube channel and have somewhere that people can always come back to, then people will always come back to, as long as the content's good.
Yeah.
And in terms of the artists that I've had so far, I've had people like Mercury from Gunshot. I've had Dexter from Brotherhood.
Jeez.
I've had All City Steve, who runs his channel and all that. I've been asking you to come on the show for a while.
Yeah. Now we're doing that,
so
man.
I'm just waiting for that day.
Yeah, man. Of course, bro.
But yeah, there's, then obviously Jazz T's been on there, and Jazz came along a few weeks ago, and he brought Big Cakes and G-Bag, Alexander Shaw, Joker Star, Sublingual, Ash the Author, Spizzy Strauss. So there's loads of things that are coming.
Wow.
There's loads of things that are coming.
That's heavy, man. That's what we need, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, my mission is just, if you're serious, you're serious. If I have to chase you, if I call somebody and they're fobbing me off, I'm cool. If you fob me off twice, I'm never calling you again. All I'll do is say to you, I'm going to play the same game you're playing, which is, I'm busy now. You're going to have to come back in 7 years.
Hello, yeah. 7 years, I like the 7 years, man. That's that's a strong number to give someone. So, and then, all right, so now we're here. What's it called again? The channel is
521 0521 05:21 official on YouTube.
And why is it 0521?
Well, I was managing a music group that didn't work out. And when my son was in the studio, he used to come back home from the studio every day at 521 pretty much. Like, every night I would look at it 4 months in a row, and like 80% of the time it was 521. So I thought, you know what? It's like, when they were coming out with all these names like Gangster this, Murderer that, I thought, just think of something that's going to make people ask you why. Why that? And the first thing I thought was 521.
Wow.
So,
see that? It's like a loop. You can keep looping that story. It's 521.
But you know what's mad, bro? Yeah. You know what's mad, bro? I took a picture of me with a crew 30 years ago in 1990 for a record cover. And above me is a clock on a platform, on a train platform.
Yeah, you told me this. Yeah.
You look at that clock.
And of course,
it's 521.
521.
Yeah.
Mad. 30 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
March 26, 1990.
And when you break that down, 521.
Well, you know what? While
8.
we're talking, because my image looks like it's just stagnant, so I can look
you're
at my
frozen.
phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're frozen
right.
again, man. Sorry about
It's
that.
a tasteful picture, though. You're looking wistfully up towards the sky.
You're like, yeah, I'm about to press
staring
the
into the
button on
distance.
these mother lovers.
What I'm going to do, bro, I am going to send you this image. Have a look at it. All right? I'm going to WhatsApp it to you right now.
Okay.
But obviously, don't make it public. This is between me and you.
Oh, don't make it public. All right. Oh, see that? That's how close we are. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Don't make it public.
I ain't bragging on that. Let me see this. Wow.
You see it?
Wow. 521 for real. Jeez.
March 25th, 1990. You see that, bro?
25th. That's mad, isn't it? March 25th. That's the third. Wow, okay. Jeez. Yeah, that's mad, man. Jeez. Yeah, see? So that's why you called it 521. I don't blame you there, bruv.
No, I didn't call it for that. I didn't even realize about that
No,
picture.
not the
till-
picture, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's mad, man. That's mad. And then that picture pops up, and you're like, oh, I didn't even notice this before, innit?
Yeah. 30 years later, I noticed it.
Synchronicity.
Anyway,
My brother.
one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the people in the building. IBMCs is giving you a shout. He was saying, yeah, English Frank made, was it 55,000 CDs?
Yeah, English Frank. English Frank did 30,000 CDs on one run and 20,000 on another run. So yeah, I love
Wow.
English Frank, man. Really good dude,
Hustler, man.
and a
That's
sick
another
MC as
hustler.
well.
Yeah. He's got bars, man.
Yeah, he has. He's sick, bro.
Shout to Yelmar. Shout to Charlie Chalk. He's loving the sea creatures. You know how we do, man. We keep it deep around here. Mr. Green is bigging you up heavy as well. He's saying, you know what I mean? We're one of the best to ever do it. And he said you're a real head. Respect to Blade, you're a real head. So, you know what I mean? There's people in there. The other chat had a couple little bits and bobs that people had mentioned. They'd met you before. I think Gleam was saying that you put him up on stage on his very first show or something like that. And then there's a couple others, man, of people bigging you up. But, bruv, so this is what you're doing now, I really think says even more about your level of mentality when it comes to this, let alone, you know, the hip-hop world, like that culture, but business mind as well. You know, you've gone to places where people might have kind of, you know, they've tried, they've stepped there and thought, oh, it's a bit scary here on my own doing this. But you've carried on all the way through the darkness and come out to the light. Now, you know what I mean, running this platform. You've had a bunch of different artists on there already. Obviously, I'm coming on there. You better, you know what I mean, make some space for me. I'm getting
I missed out a name. I missed out a name that I really wanted to mention, but I missed out that name for a reason because I know you're going to mention him in a minute.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing I was talking about is if we can get it up on the screen.
Yeah. Hold on.
Basically, obviously, like you said, you've had this artist on, had a deep conversation. People need to go check out. So it's 0521 on YouTube, right?
05:21 official.
Official on YouTube. Go check out the interviews. One of the last ones he had was another legend, you know what I mean, that we should all definitely be looking up to in terms of setting standards for a whole bunch of rappers out there, producers out there, and people that are just, you know, into the scene in general. The amount of influence he's had, you know, it's you can't even, it's like, how do you say it? Do you know what I mean? There's so many different artists where you're like, yeah, you used to be a fan, or you still are a fan, or, you know, you grew up on that shit. Shout out to my brother Chester P. Blade, you had the idea to start up a GoFundMe for Chester after doing an interview with him. And I saw this. I actually wanted to get Chester on because he said he was up for coming on the show to have a chat, but I didn't hear nothing. And then I saw a post of his where he said, you know, he's staying offline for a bit. So I figured something was going on. But then obviously this came through as well. I saw this in terms of GoFundMe, and I, you know, obviously wasn't sure what it was about. But if you know, without, I don't want us to get into his business because I think that's up for him to say. But obviously he gave you the blessing, like, yeah, bruv, whatever you want to do. You decided you wanted to start a GoFundMe, and what was the reason behind that? Obviously, without going into what you don't want to.
Well, the reason behind it is, like, you know, look, when I was young, I was competitive as an artist. Then it got to a point where I was just like, look, I just want to feed my family and make sure that there's a roof over our head. And then bit by bit, I let go of all the ego, and then you know, then I started hearing artists like Chester, and I'm like, damn, like, these guys are just sick, you know what I mean? And you know, and I, like, behind the scenes, I was sitting down with friends, and I was always like, you know, and this has been like 20, 30 years. I've been moaning about how people ain't getting a break that they deserve. But then there are artists out there who do silly things and they get breaks just because something went viral, something stupid. Like I could, you know, you could get somebody, I don't know, in I guess in the grime scene or whatever, and they just go boop, doop, 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 and it's like it goes viral. You know what I mean? So, but you know, then you get somebody like your level of MCing and Chester's level of MCing and Farmer's level of MCing, and it's like, what happens? You know, look at all the guys like Big Cakes and, you know, like I said, G-Bag and, you know what I mean? Like Joker Star and all them, Harry Shotter, all these guys. They're sick. And, you know, their lives should have changed because of the music. So when I was doing the interview with Chester and I started, like, hearing him talking about how he's basically lived a life where he hasn't really seen the rewards from the music industry. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back to the way I was when I started standing on the street selling my records. And I said to myself, if they ain't going to do it, I'm going to do it for myself. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I need to try and convince people, like, if the industry is not going to look after us, then we need to look after ourselves. Now, if we can get one of the best rappers out there that we know, not just in the UK, but in the world, like Chester P, and we can help to change his life, and we can show people that togetherness can do something like that for someone, maybe it'll encourage everyone else to start helping each other a little bit more, because they can see what a little bit of togetherness can achieve. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's too much selfishness, there's too much greed, and there's too much envy, and there's too much hate. Every time, you know, I see so many people going, yeah, it's sick that my man's on stage with, I don't know, with Public Enemy. But then behind closed doors, as soon as they turn around and they go around the corner and they bump into me, wanker. You know what I mean? And somebody like Chester doesn't deserve that. He deserves all the rewards. Somebody like you, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on the phone to you. I'm on a call to you now, because you know I've always said it. You know, and not just to you, I've said it to everybody. Yeah, I do talk behind your back, Maestro. You know what I mean? But I tell people that that's a guy that should really be getting somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, bro.
But it's not just you. It doesn't. The buck doesn't stop with Chester and you. It doesn't stop with, you know, all like the big guys. Look at all people like For Life Cypher, Life MC in them. You know what I mean? Look at Jest. You know, look at Parky.
So what are you looking to do with the Chester P fundraiser? What's the total outcome of it? Okay,
well, look, the thing is, when I heard that he's just basically never had it easy, I just thought, you know what? In the interview, there was a couple of points where I was starting to get a bit angry at some of the things he was saying. Not angry at him, angry at the things he's had to go through. And you know, there was also a couple of parts where, like, I was holding back tears because you know, I know other people that have been in those situations, and I wish I could have done more. So what I'm really trying to do is basically put him in a situation where he can hopefully get the help that he needs, carry on recording, you know, and also maybe, you know, if we can raise 50 grand, bro, I'd love to see, like, him saying, you know, my rent's been paid for the year. Now I can sit down and focus on being an artist.
Yeah,
So that's real community work, though. You know, that's what you're encouraging, is like trying to build a community.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I'm just doing it basically not because I'm looking for attention, and Chester's definitely not looking for attention either. You know what I mean? I just did it basically because in the interview I said it in passing, and then I had about 50, 60, 70 people message me going, where can I contribute? Start a GoFundMe. So I thought, you know what, I might as well start a GoFundMe. And that's why I started the GoFundMe. So thanks to all the people that privately messaged, you're the reason I started the GoFundMe, and now Chester's got a little bit of money he didn't have yesterday.
And so ultimately people they'll be able to fund an artist to live his life and be able to put out more art. I mean, that's ultimately what it is.
Well, the problem most times is the artist hasn't even got the money to start recording.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm hoping is this is going to help him to raise his production level, which will hopefully help him to get material out there, which will hopefully get fans buying his material and allowing him to carry on because he's making money from the music and he's just able to continue being an artist. Somebody like Chester P should not be working in Tesco. He needs to be living with a bed in the studio.
Man.
Yeah, and it's the same for you. Ice Diggy, it's the same for you. It's the same for someone like Life MC. It's the same for Jest. It's the same for Parky. It's just, you know what I'm saying? There's loads of them. Ramson Bad Bones. I could just, you know, Kashmir. Jesus. How do I forget Kashmir?
Yeah. What do you think has been, because it's like you're mentioning names where it's like there's classics, there's a level of expertise that is, you know what I mean, second to none. Everyone got their own style. But what do you think it is that's kind of held back, like what we do, you know, the style of music that we do out here?
I just think like what's happened is what I see is what I've always seen, which is that everybody wants to be the artist, but no one really knows how to run the business. And I just think if we had a few people that were in the game that knew how to run the business and weren't shafting all the artists, then we would achieve a lot more. But that's my belief. I always think that there's always somebody up there who's dangling a carrot and telling the artist, we can offer you the world, and then they make all the money and they leave the artist broke and it's done. I mean, we can go into the story of, you know, I mean, your first-hand experience to what was going on with Lowlife.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know the ins and outs.
Well,
so,
that's the thing about that is that I think because everyone had their own experience with Brain Tax and everything that went on, you know, with the whole breakup of Lowlife, for me personally, and I've mentioned this in a couple of episodes before, but it kind of changed the level of integrity you'd probably give people and trust you'd put in them as well. So it's quite hard to like go, okay, yo, should we start working? I'll put out some music with you, because you just feel like, right, you're going to end up doing the same thing what this guy's done. So and I can imagine that for each of us, we must have felt that to some extent. I think there were people that were smart enough to move on and not really take it to heart in certain ways, but then some of us might, you know, and it makes it harder for you to trust people, like I'm saying. So then from then on, in terms of working with people, you know, it probably take longer than it would normally, or you're not making the right decisions anyway, because you still kind of scarred from what's gone on. You know, as you know, this is something that you love doing. When you do something that you love, there's more energy that's been put into it, and when it gets treated a certain way, you know, that energy gets crushed from within. And how do you still communicate with people on a trustful level after that? It's quite hard. And I don't know everything that the ins and outs of what Chester's been through, but there's a couple of people saying it was a brilliant interview, by the way. You lot should go check out the Chester P interview over there on 05:21 official, because he breaks down a lot on there. And, you know what I mean? Because I don't know fully what he's gone through, I can only imagine what it must be like. Do you know what I mean? Because of what I've experienced. And for him, it's probably even crazier because of, you know, the life that he's lived through it all. So I think it's really, really special that you're doing something like this, man. Like, definitely people should get involved whatever you can, because regardless of how much gets made, at least he gets something, and he knows that there are people out there that appreciate what he's done for this thing that we love. Do you know what I mean? And yeah. Blade, for real. Yeah. Like, to have the balls to just do it and go, fuck it, I don't give a damn whatever people think. That's real love, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've had people sending me abusive messages and all that, and I do what I do typically as Blade. Fuck off, I'm off. I don't need to talk to you. You haven't contributed to me. You haven't contributed to the scene. You haven't contributed to Chester. Don't need to explain nothing to you. Move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And but it's life. You know, this is why, like, you know, the whole hip hop culture is kind of like stayed stagnant and hasn't moved on. We've seen, like, at one point where America, or New York in particular, was the capital of hip hop. And at one point, Britain, like England, London in particular, wasn't far off. It was like the second or the third capital of hip hop, if you can call it that.
Yeah, I think France.
Then it wasn't long before France, Germany, Spain, Australia, everybody took over. So what happened to England? Why are we the ones that stayed stagnant and everyone's moved on? Why are all the underground artists in France and Germany able to buy houses or pay their bills or whatever, and the UK artists can't?
And you're saying it's the business.
They have to get regular jobs.
But there was newer forms of
income.
No, the music form sort of changed in the UK into like much more potent form of like control of young people's minds with like a more violent style. So I think that like what happened in New York back in the 90s sort of happened in the UK with the whole sort of the rise of like the grime
gang.
And the sort of now this drill stuff. You know, I think it's really
gang.
It's left behind all of the true artists and the true lyricists. You know.
Okay, well, can I ask you something? So do you think we should just lie down and accept?
No way, no. That's what we're doing. That's what this is. That's what this show. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be part of try and be part of a renaissance.
Right. So that's basically the reason why I asked that, because I wanted to hear you say that.
No, yeah.
Man,
you won't hear me say anything else.
Right.
That's why we're talking right now, bruv.
So what I'm saying is, with you, with what I'm doing, with what Canadian Dad in Canada is doing, like with people like us that are doing things for the right reasons, then there's no reason why, people won't kind of gravitate to it. You get what I'm saying? Look, if, like Sky, you can have movies with all, like, I don't know, horror, people getting slashed left, right, and center, gangster movies, whatever, and everyone's watching it. But there's still going to be a good number of people that's going to want to watch documentaries and real life shit. You understand?
Yeah.
So what we have to do is, like, just all I'm saying to people is, just because the majority don't go for it, don't think that there's not going to be enough people that's going to want to go for it to be able to buy your house and buy your car and take your family on holidays. You know what I mean?
And the community and the community is actually quite a big community in the UK and worldwide. A lot of people around the world actually just liked UK rap. So
if they work together, it'll be massive.
Yeah.
And just remember, there's 7 billion people in the world.
I think.
You know what I mean? We only need half. We only need the 0.01%, and we're good.
Back in like the mid 2000s, everything low life. It was all part of a sort of a grouping that was there was clubs and clothing and record shops and labels and. And everybody was, and I think that the low life thing, the collapse of low life was really quite instrumental in taking away a lot of energy from the scene at the time.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think it took time to recover.
My personal belief is when that happened, like everybody I spoke to had lost any faith in what was going on, because we thought that low life basically was one of our own doing what they were doing for the scene. And then when all the news went out about like Brain Tax robbing everybody, suddenly all the trust was gone. All the trust was gone. So what we need to do is we need to find someone who everybody will trust. Someone who's not going to rob anybody, someone who's going to do things for all the right reasons. And then maybe that way, it's like what we do, we build a little like togetherness. When I tell you what would be nice, say my Stiggy's doing a show on Friday, it'll be nice for 30 different MCs. Like what you were saying, Maestro, what you were saying earlier about everyone's phone numbers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I imagine if I could call 30 MCs and go, yo, my Stiggy's performing on Friday night at so-and-so.
Yeah, can we all go? Exactly, bruv. It's mad. And then, bruv, jump on. Like, I got 16 bars in this. Come jump on, do 16. Yeah, don't worry. I'll show you when to come in. You know what I mean? It'll be fun as well.
Not even that. Just imagine what the fans are going to be seeing. The fans are going to be like, raw, Cashman's here. This guy's here. Jax P's here. Oh, my God, what's going on?
Yeah.
And if they see that kind of support, then bit by bit, the mentality is going to change, I believe. I might be wrong, but I'm just saying it's like right now, we're living in a fishbowl mentality where someone who lives in Brighton is happy performing to the guys at the end of his road. And he doesn't care about going any further because he's happy with his ego being boosted. Your ego's not going to pay your bills, bro.
True.
Jeez, your ego's not going to pay your bills, bro. That's solid, man. Joe, bro, big up, man. Let me shout out what some of the people are saying here. Yeah, more says another real one. Chester P, respect. IBMCs, yep. Blade's right. He's a good guy and a genius. 100 people take 100 copies. How it's done. Charlie Chalk says that Chester P interview is amazing. What else? Shout to IBMC. Says he's got PLC. Watch out for it. Yeah, he's got a PLC. Something coming with PLC. So yeah, man, look out for that. Black Einstein says enough respect, Blade. Selfless with a heart emoji. Stefan 88 Hawk says Chess raised a stack of cases. Oh, remember this? He raised a stack of cash a few years back to buy sleeping bags, etc. for the homeless. I remember that. Legend for real. And so, you know what I mean? It's just things like that make you think like, wow, another selfless person, and how dare this happen? Like, we let this happen, you know, like for him to not get the dues that he deserves, and to end up, you know, just feeling this way. It's like, man, Blade's right, man, 100%. The talent that's there, it doesn't deserve that treatment at all. Shout out to Barry Owen. Shout out to Barry O. He says community is the way forward for all of us, and that is truth. Community, we have to all communicate with each other, and do you know what I mean? We're all on the same, like we were talking about earlier, being under the same roof when you're at a gig. Oh, let's go out, have a blade. You know what I mean? People chit-chatting. It's the same thing we could carry on doing outside of that. It doesn't have to just be when we link up and whatnot. Shout out to Chris Lahat. He says, really respect the spirit Blade's got for rejuvenating the UK scene. I'll back that one up for real. And he says, I reckon there'll be a film made about you one day. I've been watching this unfold over the last couple years, and he reckons it'll be a great story. For real, boy. And Yamor, she's got a good point. She says, I think in the UK, part of it has been the lack of female presence too, which I
agree.
You can't blame her for saying that at all, because it's very true.
No, I agree. That's why I got Oracy in. I've asked Amy True to come in. I asked Jazz Kahina to come in. You know, and I just wanted to get females in because
get that
you know
balance.
What? This is not a gender thing. It's like, it's talent thing.
Exactly. If you got
some of them girls are better spitters than a lot of the guys.
Jeez. Well, you won't mention no names.
Careful.
There, you know what I mean?
Careful.
I'll mention names if you want, bro.
Go
on.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, man. What else we got there? Oh, Mook O'Shea, MC O'Shea. Oh, is that O'Shea for real? O'Shea, the battle. I don't know if it's the battle rapper or not. But he says, absolute legends here. I love you guys. As a UK hip hop fan from my heart, thank you for being part of the soundtrack of my life. The soundtrack of my life. Jeez, that means a lot, man. I mean, woo. IBMCs has uploaded a UK hip hop classic Blade anthem on YouTube. So yeah, you lot check that out. But yeah, man. This is, boy, you've dropped some knowledge on us, bruv, and really, you know, one thing you're doing is making, and I can feel that energy even from the people hitting us up, is like, you're making me feel like it is worth pushing on and keep, you know, carrying on doing this, because let alone, 10 years ago or whatever, 15 years ago, you were just like, oh shit, this thing's going to pop off, and then obviously it turned to dust with this low life thing. There was a point where you're just like, is it really, you know, you're looking around and you're like, okay, but people want this type of stuff, and you don't see it as much. You don't see who wants to be there as much as they did in the mid-noughties or whatever. And so it can mess you up in your head. You're like, should I bother? Like, what's the... But you talking like that?
Bro,
let's put the fire in.
You know what? If we look at the world and we look at the real life situations, like, you know, when you're driving your car and your car tire blows up, what are you gonna do? You're gonna leave your car there to just rot. You're gonna, or you're gonna change the tire and move on. Fair enough, a lot of things went wrong in the scene, but you know, we can't just leave it there to rot. We have to fix the problem as well. Amen. And then we have, like, if someone's a problem, like in your situation, like the brain tax thing was a problem. What you do, you then find other people that you can gravitate to, and you build with them other people. Yeah,
you don't know that though. Like, you're not taught that at the time. Like at the time, I proper felt right. No one's even, you know, tapping me on the shoulder and like, bruv, don't worry. This is what you can do now.
Then that comes to what. But then that comes to what that person was saying about communication. See, now if we all communicated, we'd all know we were all on the same page.
Exactly.
But no one communicates.
Shout out to Barry O for that. Yeah, see, the elders dropping knowledge. I told you lot, man. You lot are going to, as we carry on, you'll find out. We do need to speak to the elders.
Communicate. Bro, do you know how many people I thought didn't like me? And then next minute I'm calling them and I'm finding out, bro, they're waiting for me to call them. Because they thought I didn't like them.
Yeah. And that I guess it's part of that MC spirit. Shout out to O'Shea, by the way. That is O'Shea, the battle rapper. He's in the building.
I said what's up as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He can hear you, man, for sure.
Oh, okay, wicked. What's up, O'Shea?
Yeah. Like, it is that thing of there's a slight competitiveness with us as artists, I guess. But people get carried away with that. Like you're saying, the ego doesn't make you, but sometimes we forget that, and there's that blurred line of who you really are as a person. You know what's good, what's bad, and how, you know, you shake someone's hand, all these things that, because it's a rapper, you don't even want to look in their direction.
Bro, but can I say something there? Can I say something there, right? I saw, when I interviewed Oracy, I saw a picture on Orisi's Instagram page with you standing on the side of the stage, and like I cut it out because it was sound quality wasn't that good at the point. But I said, either you spat some serious bars, and Maestro's there pulling his face and going "Rah," whatever, or someone farted. Yeah? But the truth is, it's like, look, the thing is, you stood on that stage with 6, 7 other MCs, and you all occupied that same space, and you all looked happy for each other, right? And how many times have I done shows? Every single show I've done, I've pulled someone from their local community up on stage to come and rap or beatbox or DJ or something. And yeah, it's a competitive sport, but there's no harm in like basically building the scene through the competition, which is what America's done, which is what everyone else has done.
Yeah. Friendly competition, isn't it?
Yeah. But then we have to also look at the realities of like, look, I do everything with kind of almost with a business mind. And I'm thinking, this is deeper than that. It's like, maybe it's not the artist. Maybe we were blocked because we were saying too many sensible things in our music, and we weren't on the dark side. Maybe, a few years ago, I read something about how major rappers in America are funding the prison system.
Yep. Break that down, bruv. Break that down, because it might sound a bit out there, but this might be some shit you might not never know nothing about. So let's go in.
Yeah, all right. So what I was reading, and I don't know how true this is, but I've tried to keep an eye on it. But basically, what happens is they put out all the negative music. They create beefs amongst each other on the street level. They kill each other. And the people at the record companies, the people that are investing, and a lot of these people are accountants and lawyers and whatever, that are investing in this, basically want to see everybody killing each other or ending up in jail. Because when artists end up in jail, or when the gang members and whatever end up in jail, they're making money off of them. And that's how they basically get their money coming in. This is what I was reading. So I don't know how many people actually know about this, but go and do the research and see if it's the truth or not for yourself. I'm only saying what I read.
Yeah.
Right? And the reality is, there are rappers out there that are billionaires, millionaires, that are funding the prison system. Ask yourself why they're funding the prison system and why they treat all these artists like toilet paper.
Bruv, I don't know if people know, but you can look for this as well. But last year, in 2020, guess how many rappers passed away?
Over 150?
Yeah, man. I think it was 184, they said. 184 rappers. And to what you're saying there, like, it's either they go in jail or they get killed. And I don't know, that's quite a lot to just say just people. Obviously, there might be people that we don't class as rappers, quote unquote, or whatever, but this is what the news out there is. And yeah, there's got, I don't know, for me, there's something going on. I don't know what, but that seems quite a lot. And to what you're saying, there was a story that came out a long time ago. I think it was back in the sort of early Twitter days, so maybe like 2010, around that sort of time. And it came out on a blog, and it was someone kind of confessing about how the music industry at a certain point in the 90s, sort of early 90s, decided it would switch to promoting more gangster style music, and how like the owners of the record labels were actually invested in the prison system as well. And so there was a way that,
And none of this is coincidence. It's all happened for years. It's not in the last 2-3 years. It's been going on for 20, 30 years. When they realized that rock music no longer makes money, that they had to switch it up to something else. So what do? They bring it onto the streets, and they get all the street gangs fighting each other, going in jail, dying, and they don't care. And the thing is, because they've thrown money into the equation and they've promised these people the world, people are happy to go and get themselves killed over it. I know people that are getting killed over a pair of trainers because their trainer is £20 more than the other person's trainer.
And in the UK,
what's that got to do with music?
Yeah,
what's that got to do with music, bro?
It's spilled over into the UK now, isn't it? Like with the whole
of course.
drill and
but
all
the
that.
bottom line is, realistically, what has that got to do with music?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What the fuck are you wearing, man? What are you wearing? That's what. It's funny, man. It leads back. Like that's what Cameron was saying to Styles P. What the fuck is you wearing, man? It's like, bruv, don't worry about what I'm wearing. Just rap. Can you rap? Can you perform? Yeah. It was like, it was metaphorical. Watching that Versus thing, it was, you know, just on so many levels where you're looking at, okay, this is hip hop and this is, hip hop, I guess. You know what I mean? And then you're seeing them back and forth and you're realizing, like, this is why I love this style, this music, this, you know, this cadence, this, you know what I mean? All these different things, that this is the point where you realize,
I personally believe, right, look, the thing is, do we need, like, all right, let me put it this way. When I was an artist, most people heard of me and whatever. Then I disappeared and did my CD business, and none of you heard of me for 15 years. But that was the best, most lucrative time for me financially and in terms of happiness and me getting on, you know, with my life and
comfortability.
Stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
It's all about comfortability.
Right. So what I'm saying is, like, as long as we can get artists into a position where they're comfortable, they're making enough money from being artists where they don't need to go and get regular jobs and whatever, and they can go studio and they're spending their entire week in the studio and they're providing music that you lot want to hear, and we keep this rolling, then nobody really needs millions. People need to stop being greedy and learn when to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, so when is enough enough?
You're right, man. You're right.
When is enough enough?
I think there's a bunch of gems you've been dropping there. Man. So let's see what people are saying. Tremendous. When we're talking about female rappers, yep, Tremendous. Steph mentioned
course,
Tremendous. She's
Woo.
on a level as well. Oracy was amazing.
And
It's
don't
all
forget
needed
people
now.
like Tor, Ishata Sheriff.
Yeah, I said to Sheriff, yeah, she's fire as well, man. There's a lot, man. Like, people, I think, like, it's like you're saying, it's more or less the same thing. It's like we just need to kind of connect a bit more and not feel like it's even competition, just being friends. It's like, nah, we can still be friends, and then when we're out there, do whatever, however you want to, your artist sort of character is, you be that. But, you know, we know that you're not the artist, you make the artist. You know what I mean? Don't make the artist make you. Did that make sense? I don't know, but Digman Freud might have popped in and out. Just
but you know, someone put up a post the other day, or made a comment the other day saying, he remembers Task Force did a show in Brighton about 15 years ago, and Ramson Bad Bones, Remus, and a couple of the Brighton guys were there performing. And they were like, then they saw me walk through the door. And they were like, wow, we thought Blade was going to perform. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm here as a fan.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing, bruv. I've done gigs where I've watched everyone perform. Like, I think I was the headliner. I've watched everyone perform. And then I go on and they all just go in the back. They didn't watch my set. And you're just like, right, man. And I think, fuck it, man. I'm doing it for the crowd anyway. But it's things like that where you're like, wow, people really... It's like competition all the way, isn't it? It's not actually friendly competition. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, but we need to bring back the friendliness, and we need to just recognize that if one of us makes it, then there's a chance that more of us are going to make it.
Exactly. That's what I always thought, though. I always thought that. I was like, yo, I've got my own style. When I look at my CD collection, you know what I mean, my tapes, my vinyl, whatever, it's not just one artist. It's a whole bunch of different artists. So why am I thinking that me performing with you or featuring on this with you or, you know, going on tour with you is going to make me lose any fans? If anything, that's the only way I was thinking about it. But as you carry on, you start realizing that, oh, people think they're going to kind of lose out if they're on, you know, on the same track. And I was like, man, or even place you certain part of the tune.
It don't make sense to me. All I'm saying is, look, bro, there's so many artists in the country now that there's not enough fans. Maybe some of the artists need to be fans again. I mean,
bro, say that again. Say that again.
I'm saying there are so many artists out there that I feel that there's not enough fans, and basically everybody wants to be the artist. Everybody wants to make it, and I just feel like some of the artists all of the artists need to go back to also being fans. Don't forget where you came from. You started off as fans.
They need to get back into Tesco's where they belong. Some of them are.
Well, you just need to go back to being fans. But at the same time, something Scheme said in an interview that I've done with him, where he said, "Stop supporting your whack friends." Like, the reality is, if you've tried it, and you're not good enough, maybe you should just go into designing or, you know, doing something behind the scenes, like editing videos or something. You know, but just leave the artistic side of things to the ones who are really, like, dedicated to it and give it everything, and they're dope.
Yeah, everyone has to play to their strength. That's what it
Yeah,
is, really.
exactly.
And
No,
if your
and I'm
strength
not
isn't
saying
as a rapper, and try other things as well, but take part in the community. Just take part in the whole thing. Don't just feel like you have to be tied down to one part of it, the one obvious part, which is the rappers. You might make good beats, you might bloody make good stickers. There's loads of things you might be able to do.
Yeah.
Right. You see what, Dan? You see what you said there? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The building of an infrastructure. We don't have an infrastructure right now.
That's right.
You ain't lying.
That's what I was saying about
everybody for self.
That's what I was saying about
for
in the
self.
early 2000s. Is the infrastructure was being built. There was clubs, record shops, clothes shops, labels, CDs, everything, and it just got sort of blown apart. But also the internet. I don't think the internet's helped, because it's given a platform to loads of people who aren't necessarily who shouldn't be on there, for a start.
Platform for those with the whack form.
But also it's sort of like fractured everything, and it also made music available to people for nothing. So whereas there was like people buying vinyl before, all of a sudden everybody was just ripping the vinyl and then uploading it somewhere, and then everyone was just downloading it.
Yeah,
So it's sort of streaming just killed it. Kills it. But any burgeoning scene is destroyed by that sort of thing,
Yeah. But you know what? It's not. I don't think it's the end. I think if people get together, whether they're buying people's artist T-shirts or whether they're turning up at shows and whatever, none of the UK artists. Look, if you give the people in the UK the choice of being able to pay their bills, buying, taking their families on the occasional holiday, buying food, making sure that they keep a roof over their head and all that kind of stuff, right? And the other option is that we don't support you, but you stay broke for the rest of your life. But then the third option is the millionaire thing. Now, we know that it's going to be hard to get artists in this country to be millionaires off the back of what we do with the small scene that we have. So what I'm saying is at least leave the other two choices open. And you might not be able to get them to the point of the Jay-Z's and all that, but at least get them to the point where they can feed their family.
Comfortability. Those say comfortability. That's what I'm talking about, man.
And they deserve that.
Yeah.
And that's why like I said, that's one of the reasons I did the CD business the way I did it. I could have been greedy and gone and charged 89, 90 pence and still beat the competition with it. But I didn't. I kept it down to 50 pence. Because I just saw that artists were struggling.
Yeah, and if you've got a talent other than as a rapper or whatever, or a beat maker or something, the scene is so sort of burgeoning, as in like there's still a lot of growth to be done. That if you've got something you can offer somebody, don't be afraid to approach somebody and offer T-shirts, or offer you could put together designs for somebody or something. Because although everybody's working on their own and it is like a sort of DIY type thing, nobody wants to be doing that. They're doing it because it's necessity.
Yeah, but bro, you know what? One of the other problems that I see, and I have to address this as well. It's like when we were doing music videos and stuff, we were looking for models, and we thought we can't afford to go to a modeling agency because they're charging like £150 a day. For each model, and only 6 of them. Right? So we thought, let's go onto Facebook and find models. So we found Facebook models, and these Facebook models, like, first of all, they put so much makeup on and stuff. When you see them, they're not the same person. I don't know who they are, but they look more like RuPaul than them, right? So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, like, these Facebook models that don't have any experience in modeling want to charge £300, £400, £500 for the day. And what I'm saying is there's so many people out there that don't understand the business, that overprice, and then there are people who are willing to pay those prices because they see some fake picture of a model that looks good, but when they turn up, they look like an elephant's ass. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying it as it is. I've been there. I've done it. And I'm like, what am I paying for? That's not the person I hired. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, just understand how business works and stop overcharging just because I know one girl who, I introduced, and I've got to say this story. I'm not going to mention any names. I was just about to mention the name. Anyway.
Lay it out. If it needs to come out, let that spirit flow, man.
No, but look, I introduced somebody to somebody to get a website done. So the person said, how much is the website going to cost? And they said it's going to cost £800. So they were happy to pay that. And this person started the website. Then the person called me back 2 weeks, 3 weeks later and said, why is this person charging me $2,400? And I said, well, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Have you changed anything? Because nope, I haven't changed anything. So then I asked this person, why have you charged this person $2,400? You know what they told me? Because I need to go to New York and I don't have the money.
What? Later, for real.
Right? So basically, I'm like, so why has it now suddenly become this guy's
Jesus.
responsibility to pay for your ticket to New York? You've agreed a price.
You
Stick to the price.
How
Don't
are
make
you
me look
tripling
bad.
it? That's
Wow.
deep, man. That's how messed
But
up
this-
people are. You're tripling the what? Come on, man.
But this
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. This is how fucked up it is out there. The people are like, bro, like, you know what? This is what I'm trying to say. If we build an infrastructure, and if we do this thing like I'm trying to achieve with 521, and everyone knows that there's someone they can go to and they're not going to get robbed, little by little, the trust is going to get built. We know there's people we can recommend. We know there's people that will do things. We know there's someone that will do your artwork, someone that will shoot your video,
Yeah,
someone that
that's a
will
good point.
master your... You know what I'm saying? So it's that infrastructure. If we
Yeah.
build that infrastructure, then a lot can happen. I've
How can
seen this all
people-
my life.
How can people get in touch with you so that, like, in terms of, yeah, clap for that, man, for real, for real, for real. You're bruv, like, the knowledge you're dropping right now, factuality, like, it's next level, man. I think a lot of people need to hear this for them to understand. I think what it is you're putting it into words. It's really, there's something there. We always talk about it in the scene. There's people that, yeah, you know, we talk about new artists. When me and Sarah had the Fubar show, we bring on artists to do the open mic and whatnot. And it was amazing the amount of fresh talent that was out there, but people weren't hearing about them. Do you know what I mean? And now some of them have gone on to do really good things, but it feels like this could happen a lot more and the scene could be a lot stronger. So it doesn't feel like you're saying, that people that you would expect to be way surpassing, you know what I mean, any sort of level that they're at now are not there. And it doesn't make sense, you know, considering the talent level. So I think it's important for people to hear this, and that's what it's about. It's like structure. Us communicating is structure. There's people out there that make videos, people out there that do artwork, that do animation, you know, so many different things, different levels of art that we can all put together. And then also the business side. There are people out there that understand how to run a company and, you know, all the sort of projections and all these different things that us as artists don't really, our heads are not in that space. And you know, I think if people get in contact with you, whatever skills they do have, and we really start structuring something, I've got to say rest in peace to Ty, because he was always talking about this as well. There's many years that we've been, you know, had little link-ups and whatnot and talked about things that need to happen for the scene. But I think it's really important now, especially for the future, that we just take the reins, man, really take the reins and start showing how, you know, this is how it should be done. The classic phrase.
Time to put your big boy pants on.
Yeah, big boy pants on, man. It's important. Like, yeah, bro,
but
you
you know
really
what?
got me
But you know-
thinking now, man.
But you know what, bro? It really needs to start with the artists themselves showing that they are supporting each other.
Yep.
I don't think the fans can do this. It needs to be the artists. You know what? There's so many artists out there that I've reached out to, and I'm amazed that they know me. Either they don't follow me, they don't respond. Even with me just saying, "What's up? How you doing? How's the family?" No response. And I'm like, wow, okay, all right, it's all good, because
deep.
I'm still carrying on with my life. I don't necessarily need you in my life. I'm just reaching out to say, "What's up?"
Like who? No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
Hey.
I'm
Bro,
only
I can
joking.
give you
No.
names if you want names. Do you know what I mean? But
Not now.
I
We'll
don't-
arrange that another night, and we'll do a pay-per-view for
You'll
that.
have to get them samurai swords out.
No, but I'm-
You get your swords
but
ready,
seriously,
yeah.
Bro, look, even when I started the channel and I reached out to certain people and said, "Can I get you in for a sofa chat?" Certain people were saying, "Blow the channel up, then come to me." And I'm like, "Well, how am I supposed to blow the channel up if
That's
you ain't coming in to help me blow it?"
It's deep, man. People are funny
And
like
what are
that.
they expecting as well? Are they expecting, you know, when you say blow it up, are they expecting like 100,000 YouTube subscribers before they come on? Isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm like, how am I supposed to get there?
Exactly.
If
Well,
you don't
without,
know-
So you don't want to
right.
come on, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
it's cool because I'll find
That's
a
what
way.
it
You
is,
know what I
man.
mean?
That's it,
Bro,
and they
like I
won't
said,
be
if
part
I-
of it. So
Exactly. which is why I said earlier about the 7 years.
Yeah.
There's a
and
reason why I said the 7 years, bro.
someone in the chat,
very
Yamor,
interesting,
in the
man.
chat is saying, what are the other parts of the infrastructure that are lacking the most? I think in any sort of scene or movement or community, you've got to look out for where you can fill a void, because it doesn't need that you don't need to sort of find a little place to fit in. You need to find whatever it is you do best and provide that for people.
Yeah, it's less
And,
pressure.
and
innit?
the thing is, don't be scared to make
Real.
yourself known that you are a
That's-
graphic designer.
that's
or
right, that's
you're
what I was
a
saying
photographer,
earlier, yeah.
or- you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's enough for everybody.
That's
there's,
right.
There's
There's more than
literally
enough.
enough for everybody.
Yeah.
More than enough. And what we need to do is we need to really start flushing out the jokers that are wasting everybody's time. And taking money for it.
You get them swords ready, Blade. We'll come round. We'll come and flush out the
He's not
jokers.
lying about that, man. He's
Should I
not-
show the swords? Let people know I'm not playing.
Oh no, I just meant blades, as in your name's Blade, and
Okay. Oh, all right.
he has got them things though. He's got them dang-dangs, you know what I mean? If you don't need to see that, he's got them dang-dangs. I don't know if we should do that live on air though, just in case, you know what I mean?
nah.
But yeah, I mean, look at say Lab 79. I mean, they came in and they did a performance,
That's
and
79.
bro, they
killing
were
it.
sick. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't heard Rain for so many years, and I was in love all over again. I'm
Yeah,
like, bro,
Rain.
and Skirmish,
Skirmish.
and MC Killer,
MC
and
Killer.
bro, do you know what I mean? Conflicts, all of them,
Yeah.
every one of them smashed it.
Yeah.
And I was a bit disappointed the Manage didn't make it down, because I'm a big fan of Manage
Yeah.
too. But where was he? It's like, come on.
He's on the
Yo,
beats though,
Manny,
man. He's
come
holding
on.
down the beats. So yeah, things like that as well. I really like him just deciding like, yo, I'm gonna start putting out this shit. I don't give a damn. And then it's turning into something. I could feel that it's kind of rejuvenating that energy. You know, like you said, Rain coming back, and then everyone is just, they've got bars, man. There's no, denying each one of them can spit. And on top of that, Manage is making, so he's kind of perfected, like he understands what type of sound needs to be made for these type of guys, you know what I mean? And they're bringing it. So yeah, I can only see that building, man. So it's things like that is,
But
made me feel like
Rain
you're not
has-
wrong at
Rain
all.
has got that. Rain has got that possibility to cross over as well.
Yeah, for sure.
He's raw, but he's one of those guys. Everything he says connects with people as well.
Yeah.
I mean, whereas somebody like Skirmish is like raw. You know what I mean? But it's like, but at the same time, it's like if he gets to the right audience and everything, he can make a very, very decent career out of this.
Yeah.
All of them can. All of
Yeah.
them.
So, all right, then let's talk about, in terms of, we know that the talent's there, right? I guess there's the side of it. Let's be honest, man. People are shy. Like UK hip hop, the rappers, you know what I mean? Some people are a bit shy. Am I lying?
No, yeah,
The
gentle souls underneath.
yeah, it's like there's character there with a lot of people on the mic and whatnot, but then when it comes to like the other side of it, of, coming off the mic and just being in the interviews and whatnot, people are, a bit, and I feel like, bruv, just let go, man. Just be you. Like, don't take yourself too
Well, can I-
serious in a way.
Can I be honest, right?
Mm.
I remember, and I'm not going to mention this artist's name because I love the guy, yeah, and I think he's a sick artist.
Yeah, I'm
and
saying it
whatever,
out of
but I
love as
remember-
well, man. Like, this is just something I've noticed throughout the scene. I think it's the reason why I've managed to get where I am is because I can, I don't give a
Right.
fuck.
So basically, I love this guy anyway, right? So I saw him in the audience, and I went up and said, "What's up?" And he blanked me. Yeah.
I've had
And
that.
then, but this was at my show.
Oof.
Yeah. And he basically came there to analyze me, see what I was doing and whatever. Then after the show, he came up and said, "Yo, that was sick, blah, blah, blah." You know what I mean? But then I asked him why he did that. And he's like, "Bro, you're competition to me. I can't put my guard down."
Ooh.
I'm like, "Bro, I am never going to be competition to you because I'm doing what I'm doing. You're doing what you're doing. And I don't see you as a threat. And you need to stop seeing me as a threat."
Oof.
Yeah, all we need to do is just show everybody, like, when people are walking past, they want to see me and you hugging, and like people going, "Rah, them two are friends, cool." I'm fans of both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than, them two don't like each other, I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick which one I go with.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like people sometimes, maybe they're in a certain type of mood, innit, and they just don't feel like they want to chat to everyone. I kind of give them the
Yeah, but but what I'm
benefit
saying
of the
though
doubt.
is, but what I'm saying though, when it's their turn to get up on stage, they want everyone to be on their side. So I'm like, look, how can you expect me to treat you that way when you ain't treating me that way? You've already set the boundaries.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So if you're going to be cold towards me, how do you expect me to even stick around for your show? I'm going home. I got better things to do.
Yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, you're right. We can change that, man. I think things are coming together as well. I'm chatting to a lot more people than I used to. So personally, I feel like, yeah, there's a bond kind of happening. But it does seem to be more, obviously, when we have to link up. And I think it can happen outside of that as well. Like we're saying, even if we set up a group as well, have people that, as well from the scene that are, you know, all in the same sort of, on the same wavelength, as well as people that can help out, you know, with the infrastructure, that kind of thing, so that they're involved as well.
Bro, do you remember a couple of years ago, someone started a group chat and they were saying about somebody leading the group chat? Do you remember what I said?
Yes, I do. It's stuck. It's stuck. It was like,
I basically said there's only two people in this room that I would say need to be headed. If we're going to do anything, then there's two people that need to be heading this. And one of them was you.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
Because, you know, we need, like, basically it has to be someone who's responsible like you. You know what I mean? You and John ZD is the people that I put forward, personally. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're busy, he's busy.
Yeah, but not even just that, man. You'll be surprised, bro. People always say, like, oh, I'm surprised someone wouldn't. But there's certain people that they don't even, like, we don't follow each other. They don't, you know, like, we don't, if we see each other, it's just like, yeah, not really. And I don't know why, but that's just how it is. So I don't think I could, I'm being honest here, I don't think I could get in contact with each and every artist out there and pull it together. I'd have to be part of the, you know, the people that I could do, I would, and obviously I don't think there'll be much of a problem.
But you know, the mad thing is, like, can I say something else? I have to say this, right? There's so many artists in America that don't get along in personal lives. But they come together for business.
Big country,
I'm even about that. I don't mind doing that. Like, honestly, I don't. I'm working on it at the moment.
What I'm saying is, but you see, what I'm saying is, they came together for business. They all got rich off the back of it, and now they get together every summer and they go to each other's houses.
Now they're friends. Yeah, now they're friends. It's deep, man. But the journey, people forget about the journey, bruv. That's what I feel like. They forget that the journey is a big part of what your life is, and if you don't enjoy it, if all it is just like doom and gloom till you get to the end, you're messing it up, man. There's so many opportunities.
But the thing is, other people have already done this, so it's not like we can't just look at what someone else did and then just do what they did. Like I said, the Americans, like, loads of them, they used to hate each other, and now they're best friends, and their kids are going to the same schools and living on the top of the hill and
sleeping top and tail and shit.
Swimming pools. It's like, you know, some of them have probably even built swimming pools with underground tunnels that lead them from their swimming pool to their neighbor's swimming pool. Do you know what I mean?
It's nuts, bro.
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island. Yeah, man. So people get in touch with Blade, hit him up. You see his Insta there. Follow him. Get your messages in. Spread the word as well, man, because this is what we're really about right about now. The talent is there. Do you know what I mean? The opportunities are there, but we've really got to take it by the horns now and forget trying to jump on all these other networks and, you know, just build it ourselves, man. Because there are people out there that want it, but they just need a hub where they can find it. And there's so many great people out here that, like Blaze is saying, deserves way more. That it's only right, man. You know, and I don't think it's ever too late either. I think there's a lot
no
more,
way, no. So much work you put in. That's all it is. It's just if you're, I think, like I say, people were caught off guard earlier on with the internet and all this stuff and streaming and all these things. Now it's all at your fingertips. You can do it all, but it's just a matter of weeding out all of the weakest points and building on the strong ones.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, as I said, and the thing is, like, for example, I may have been an artist before, then I did the CD business. What's to say that journey didn't lead me here to do this because something needed to be done?
That's right.
What's to say that I never should have been an artist?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I should have just been in the business trying to do what I had a passion for, which is all of this. I mean, because ultimately I got a big heart, and I just want to do what's best for everybody. I want to create a scene where, and you know what? Someone said to me yesterday. They said, "You know, Blade's just doing this to make money. You know that, right? He don't care about the scene."
Is it?
So I
Okay,
said
no.
to them, when you speak to your friend, tell them I said, "Yeah, right. I am doing this to make money, but I'm not going to be happy till everybody's making money." And one thing I said to Chester
Oh, that's
B
real.
is, bro, after the interview finished, and I've got it in a text message, so like, you know, I've got it here. I might even make it public at some point, which I don't think I will, because it's a private conversation between me and him. But the one thing that I can make public is I said, bro, it's like, I see what you're doing. I've always seen what you're doing. And somebody like Life MC has always been there for me, morally supporting me when he knows there's been a lot of people talking me and talking shit about me, saying whatever. So I said, I'm going to make you a promise today. And this was 2 days ago. I'm going to make you a promise today. I am going to carry on doing what I'm doing until yours and Life MC's life changes. When I'm done with that, I'm going to carry on till I make sure other lives change as well. I'm not stopping. I'm going to carry on till loads of lives change.
That's deep, man. Fucking hell, Blade. Jeez. That's deep, man. That is deep. Bruv, I think we should leave it on that note, man, because that one's going to hit home for a lot of people. And, yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time as well, man, but, woo, bruv.
And do you just want
Appreciate
to
you,
do you want
man.
to just plug this Chester P thing again?
Yeah, let's do that, man. So it's the GoFundMe for Chester P. You know what I mean? Hit up the link.
That's
We'll put it in
gofundme.com/F/Chester P fundraiser.
Or you can send them to my page, and it's in the bio.
Okay. Cool.
Links in the bio.
All right, and we'll stick the link in our show
Yeah,
as well.
so my page is Blade691_UK on Instagram, and the link is in the bio.
Blade 6. Yeah, we've got that up on your thing. Okay, cool. All right, excellent.
Yeah, man. Wicked, man. So
And
shout
for
out.
anyone who's asking what the 691 is, no, the 69 is not a sexual position. It was 691 was the phone code for New Cross when I used to live there.
Gotcha.
Ah, okay. 691.
The NK.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. Because yeah, I was wondering. I was like, right, is he like linked with Takashi in any way? Trey, was it Treyway? You know what I'm saying? Treyway Blade. Yeah, bruv. Oi, it's been really good talking to you, man.
And you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate
thanks.
everything you've done, everything you're doing. It's fucking inspiring, bruv. Really
Thank you,
giving me like a warm, you know what I mean, this energy where I feel like, yeah, you know what? It's that energy where it's like when you started, you're like, I want to write these bars and I want to like go in. I want people to be like, yo, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, do you know what I mean? You've given me that kind of spirit. And I think a lot of us need that right now. And it feels like there's, like you said, it's never too late. There's a lot more ahead that can be done. Like I'm working on a bunch of stuff, and I know loads of artists left, right, and centre that are as well. We're all like working on a lot. Like I said, featuring more with each other, and I think people are realizing like, yeah, we do need to come out of our shells and be a bit more of who we are. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about what people are thinking, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You are you, and that's all that matters. It's your world. Wherever you go, do you know what I mean? For each and every one of us. And we shouldn't be afraid of each other. We shouldn't be afraid to be who we are. And it's all about love anyway, because we love what we're doing. The reason why we're here under this same roof is because we love this culture, this music. So why then are we going to turn it into anything else but that? And it's got to grow. All it can do is grow, especially for the young ones, man. Like, I don't want the young ones listening to all this madness that's going on right now and thinking that's what they got to be and that's what they got to become.
But this is what I was trying to say with the whole channel thing. So what I'm trying to do, and what like all of us have always been trying to do, is just bring forward positive music so that they can see there is another option. Because right now they're not being fed or even being informed about another option. Everything that's being drummed into their heads is there for a reason, and that reason is all negative.
Yep.
Negative energy, creating more. It's just creating more and more.
Yeah.
And
But while we're here though, bro, I just want to put you on the spot and say, bro, you got to come in and do a live like a freestyle or something, and you got to come in for a sofa chat.
Nah, definitely, man. I should come down with Locke and we do a little set, innit?
Okay, and look, you've all heard him say that he's gonna do it now, so he has to do it.
Bro, trust me, I'll do it.
No excuses.
Yeah, man. Nah, I'm gonna do it. Trust me, because I've been getting back into performing.
Watch how he starts ignoring my phone calls now, and there's no communication anymore.
Nah,
we'll definitely have you back on the sofa next time for the next interview. Yeah, so you can come down to the studio and all that rather than
wicked.
Being remote.
Yeah, I look forward to it, man. I love what you're doing as well. So
appreciate it, bro.
Thanks, if all of us keep pushing each other like this, anything is possible, bro.
That's it, man. That's it. That's all that matters, man. People got to forget all the other bullshit that they're getting caught up in. This is what it's really
But when
about.
I come in, you're going to have to get rid of them sharks, bro. I'm scared of them.
Don't worry, man. They don't bite, bruv. You know what I mean? They're cool. You see the stingray there just chilling. Nah, man, they're all good. They're all good. The sharks, they get a little bit rowdy.
He's killing them for you now. He heard what you said. He's going to go shoot
shark fish. You know what I mean? You want some shark fin soup? What you saying? I'm going to hook that up for you, bruv. When you come around next, got you that shark fin soup. Yo, Blade, one love, man. Appreciate you being with us, man. We definitely got to do it again. And yes, I'm going to come down there. Trust, man. Make sure it's fireproof. You got some fireproof shit going on in there, in that studio, because, we might.
Well, thanks for the advance warning. I'll make sure the fire station knows to be on standby.
Yeah, boy. Bless, brother. Always a good chat, man. Really appreciate you, kid.
Yeah, you too, as always, bro.
Bless, man.
All right.
Yes.
Kid.
That was Blade, ladies and gentlemen. Jeez, legendary, dropping knowledge upon knowledge upon knowledge. Way better than your college. Yo, it's like, hearing the things that, it's always like every time I talk to him, there's certain gems. And like I'm saying, you think about it and you're feeling, but you can't put it into words. And he manages to put it into words where you're like, yeah, that's exactly it. There's a way around getting there, and somehow you get there. And obviously, that's his penmanship as well. He's always straight to the point. Blade, you know what I mean? Makes sense. So it's always appreciated chatting to a brother like that, a big bro, someone I can call a big bro, man. People don't understand that shit. I'm telling you. Yo, shout to the people in the chat room. Let's see who's still up in this building. Sorry about the slight technical hitch. You know what I mean? We came back. But then, we still, couldn't get the old screen up properly.
We had the camera for a bit.
I think the camera, is it?
We had it for a little bit, but then it just fell over on us. So still got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, man, we're still working on it. We appreciate
I'll be here all night trying to sort it out, basically. So
yeah, man.
I won't be. I'm not going to be allowed out.
Yeah. So who we got? We got to give a shout out to everyone still here. Man like Bluefoot, he says forage for the knowledge. Yeah, more. Yep, dropping them fruits. Serious props to Blade from Yamore. Big up Blade, Mice Diggy from Blau Smith. What does that say? Never fear. Scroll down a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
That's all good. Yeah, I lost it on there. Was it? Never fear the sharks. Ooh, no shark fin soup. Wow. You're damn right. You can't fear the sharks, man. Yeah, man. Big up to everyone that's still in the building. I think we're going to do the Mice Investigates next week because it's a pretty deep one. And there's some bits and bobs that I wanted to go over as well that I think would be interesting for people. We've done a couple hours, I think more than a couple hours now. We appreciate all you mother lovers locked in. Each and every one of you. Each and every time. Make sure you lot rest up. You know what I mean? If you got that last one to blaze, do your thing. I'm going to get indulgent as well. Dan DNA, appreciate everything you do, my bro. Joe in the building, appreciate you. All you mother lovers out there. My name is Mice Diggy. This is some shit you might not never know nothing about. And we're out, bitches.